Hello, my name's Terry Lee Shield. I am host at Love School, and in this video, I am going to share a little bit about the positive benefits of connecting with our inner child and the sometimes forgotten traits of our inner child that can benefit us as adults. A lot of the course that I've created, a lot of the content I've created around inner child is actually been focused on healing the inner child wounds that we developed through childhood and reparenting, learning how to nurture and protect that vulnerable aspect of ourselves so we can heal. But what is it that we're healing? Well, what we're healing is the wounds that broke us from the essence of our inner child and what that means for us as adults. And there are a lot of positive traits from childhood that when they are nurtured, when they are utilized for our benefit, can really enhance our life in many ways and improve our relationships in many ways. And stepping outside of the vulnerability of the inner child and into actually the strength and resilience of our inner child spirit, our inner child energy is part of the ultimate goal of why we're doing this work. It's bringing together this lost part of ourselves with our now grown adult perspective in order to thrive in life. One of the things that we're doing when we're reparenting, when we're looking at inner child wounds, is potentially reframing this fantasy that has been created around childhood. And even I see it in society so much. I think we're probably all guilty of it of one degree to another, that we make up this idea that childhood is easy, that childhood is this magical time. And we make up this fantasy that children are these perfect little angelic beings, the bright sparks of the world, the future of humanity. And of course, they are all that, but also children are challenging. Children are difficult. Having children is a challenge that we have to meet. And this is one of the things that the reparenting process with an adult perspective actually brings to the table is the reality that children are just smaller humans, less developed humans, humans with less skills, who have all the same emotions, have all the same ability to think and create in their minds, but actually don't have tools, skills, direction. And that is when and the process of trying to teach that is what causes the wounds, because actually teaching is an imposition depending on how it's done. Mentoring someone to grow is very different than teaching them how to be, and sadly the majority of education is teaching people how to be, is trying to make them to conform to this ideal citizen that we would love to create, when it's actually probably not in the child's best interest. Actually, of course a child wants to learn, of course a child needs to learn, but they need to learn first and foremost how to be their self, how to be themselves, and how to utilize their skills and their natural talents rather, and learn skills. And there are certain archetypes to childhood, because every child is different, obviously, just like every adult is different. But there's certain archetypes of childhood that can be repressed and controlled through this process that actually cause the wounds that we're trying to heal. And our role as adults, when we're reparenting ourselves, is to identify the benefits of those lost aspects, and then embody them. And we're embodying them in order to become whole. Of course, as adults, we mature. We have responsibilities. We are accountable for our actions. We cannot behave like children. We just can't. I mean, okay, you probably could, but it's probably going to get you into a lot of trouble, and it's not going to be good for your relationships, and who knows what the consequences might be. But we can still embody some of the childlike energy that benefits us as adults. And in an archetypal way, that is the energy of curiosity, of being able to learn, creativity, being able to use our imagination and to think of new ideas, connection. Children very often have an innate ability to connect, honesty. Children can be incredibly honest. And sadly, that's some of these qualities are what is taught out of them, what is disciplined out of them. And what I found going through my own healing and reparenting process is that I actually reverted back to being and embodying more of these childlike qualities, but from my adult perspective. So I'd practice and intentionally choose to be more honest, to be more open and curious, to be more creative, to allow more connection in a open way, but bringing in those boundaries, bringing in all those lessons that we've learned as adults, so that we know when to set boundaries with people. We know when to limit our creativity because the creative ideas have gone out of the spectrum of reality, to be honest in a way that's not hurtful through our language, to be curious without having to completely dissolve and let go of everything that we have learned as adults that benefits us. There are a lot of beneficial traits of childhood we can embody, and there are lots of ways that we can embody them. But the reparenting process is very often finding that balance and allowing that to occur, which is why we look at the mother, the nurturing mother, and the protective father. Because when we have these two parental archetypes in balance within us, we can allow our inner child energy to emerge in a safe, responsible, accountable way. And mastering that skill, mastering the skill of all of this process is what reparenting is, and is when we get to that point of healing, when we can embody all of these roles within ourselves as adults. So there are a few exercises that you can do, and as with most of the stuff that I share, especially in the Love School courses, I try to give information. I try to help you understand what the goal is, what we're trying to do, but actually the process is individual. The process is yours, because the process we go through is what is meaningful to you, what fits within your boundaries, what you want to achieve, how you show up in the world. So the actual outcomes in relation to our own development is varies and is different. So the different exercises that you do, some might not feel relevant and some might. And it's up to you to discern that and choose for yourself what's going to be beneficial on your journey. But things like incorporating more play into our lives, practicing being honest with people, especially like people that you trust, friends, asking questions again. Instead of pretending you're right all the time, instead of taking a stance of I know this, allowing curiosity just to creep into your life again. A couple of little examples. I'll try and think. If you always cook the same recipe, right? I don't know, you make spaghetti bolognese and you've made it the same way for like 10 years. What might happen if you just add a new herb? Suppose add herbs if you've never added herbs. Or if you add a dash of this sauce, or you, I don't know, add some Parmesan cheese on the top. There can be small things that just start to open us up to more curiosity. I do experiments. What might happen if I am totally honest with my boss? You might not want to go right to your boss, but what might happen if I'm totally honest with my coworker? What might happen if I just spontaneously suggest a road trip with my friend? These things that we've kind of learned a lot, very often we've learned to repress things like our curiosity, our spontaneity, our creativity. And that's what we're trying to uncover. So the more that you can do that's relevant in your life to spark and engage that again, the more comfortable you become embodying it. Trying out different arts and crafts, playing games, get the board games out, play. If you've got kids, play with your kids. Go to new places that are, for fun and adventure. Join new groups, meet new people, have different conversations. These small experiments, these small allowance of our inner child, to emerge, is what helps us ultimately decide what is good for us and what isn't good for us, as we are stepping into an embodied, healed, reparented place as adults. So let me know what you think in the comments. How do you nurture your inner child? How do you allow that energy, that spirit of your inner child to live within you? And what exercises might you try? If you've tried some and they've gone really well or not so well, let me know. Let me know in the comments, or if you prefer more privacy, send me a message. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this has been helpful. And if you would like to know more about how Love School can support this journey, check out our Facebook page, our YouTube channel. There's lots of content on there. And obviously we have the courses. If you're not enrolled on a course, we have an inner child and reparenting course that is available right now for you to access and start enjoying. And this video will be part. Thank you for watching.